Hey friends, welcome to this mellow feel good flow. We will be doing some moving around. It won't be like a fully restorative class, but there will be some stretching and some flow, nothing too strenuous. Caveat, I am just about 9 months pregnant, so this is a 9-month pregnancy friendly class, but number one, you don't have to be pregnant to enjoy it. And number two, if you are pregnant, please always, especially listen to your body, take whatever modifications you need, use lots of props, etc. All right, we're gonna get started sitting on a bolster or a cushion, something comfy underneath your hips. And then eventually settle in. Close your eyes down, relax your shoulders down your back. And then as you inhale, feel the air filling up your lungs, your ribs, your belly, your back body. And the exhale is just a gentle release, unforced. And on our inhales, we feel a softening throughout our skin, our face, our pelvic floor. And the exhale, let it go. Feel free, if you are pregnant, to place your hands on your belly. We'll take 3 more breaths here. As you're ready, you can blink your eyes open or keep them closed. Let's take a little neck stretch. Drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. And this time, maybe you can feel your breath coming up into the chest space, into the side of the neck. You could gaze up and down a little bit, turning your head. And think about pinning your left shoulder down and back a little. Good, and then switch it out, left ear over to left shoulder. Right shoulder drops down. And let your breath soften your trap, your upper back and neck muscles. And then you have the option to turn your head up and down if you want. Good, come back through center. We'll take a little twist. Bring your right hand behind you onto your foot or onto your bolster, and your left hand can come onto your left thigh. And we're gonna peel our right shoulder open, gaze back behind you. So any twist we do, we just make sure belly has plenty of room, we're not compressing. Nice open shape here, but it should feel really good in your thoracic spine, so your mid-back area. On your inhales, think about lengthening upwards, and then exhales, think about twisting a little bit deeper. Good. Switch to the other side. Left hand comes behind you, right hand to your right thigh, and use that to pry open a little bit, but also use the muscles around your spine to achieve the twist as well. And breath stays full here. One more inhale. One more exhale to deepen. Come back through center. Grab your blocks if you want them. We're gonna take a little side stretch. Right hand comes over to the right side onto a block or onto the floor. Left arm reaches up on an inhale. Find some length from your left hip bone all the way to your pinky finger, and then exhale. Keep your both sit bones grounded as you side stretch over to the right. Gentle opening of the heart as well. 3 breaths here into the left lung. Exhale, slight engagement of your core pulls you back through center. Left hand over to left side. Inhale, stretch your right fingertips nice and tall. And exhale, side stretch to the left. Again, think about curling your heart upwards just a little bit and inflate that right lung. Feel the separation of your ribs here as you breathe in for 2 more cycles. Exhale, release. Good. Gently lift your hips up, take your bolster out, and we're gonna meet on elbows and knees. So kind of in this modified child's pose, tuck your toes and send your hips back to your heels. So your knees are as wide as you need them to be. We're gonna inhale, think about sending breath down into your pelvic floor, find some relaxation and softening there. Good, so pinky fingers and elbows are digging into the mat, and then on an exhale, we're gonna do kind of a modified plank. So we're gonna shift forward until hips come in front of knees, and we're in this modified plank. So hugging belly up into your, or baby up into your belly, into your spine. Inhale, rock back to child's pose. Exhale, shift forward, hug your baby up and in. Good. Inhale, rock back. Exhale, modified plank. Use your out breath to contract your core, your pelvic floor. 2 more cycles. Balancing the effort and the ease. Last exhale, modified plank. Last inhale, child's pose, and then walk your hands over to the right. Sink your left hip back behind you and feel that nice stretch all the way along the left side of the body. Good, walk your hands over to the left, switch it out. Child's pose with a side stretch. Sink your right hip back and down. Exhale, come through center. Lift up onto your palms. Find a tabletop pose. And here, take a little shift of your hips side to side. And then eventually, if you want to move into cat-cow or barrel rolls, this is your time, these next 10 breaths or so, to just close your eyes and really do whatever feels good in your body right now. I won't be cueing, but you know the motions to link with your breath. Inhale into cow pose, dropping your belly and arching your back. Gentle stretch on the front of the abdomen is fine. And then exhale to push the ground away and round through the spine. And then from there, just take it to wherever you want to go. Two more cycles of breath. Big exhale. All right, now we're gonna bring our right knee to the very center of the mat and then turn your body to the left. So we're facing the long edge of the mat. I'm gonna turn so you can see. Left leg is extended out long, so we're in this half straddle shape. Again, facing the long edge of the mat. And then just rock your hips side to side here. Don't ever lock out your left knee. Keep a little engagement of your left quad. You could also place a blanket underneath the left knee if you feel like you don't have that muscular control right now, to have a little bend in it. Good, now let this rocking motion take you into a side stretch. Right arm reaching up and over to the left. Breathe in. Exhale through center. Right hand plants behind you. Inhale, press through your left heel and your right shin. Lift up into a little modified Wild Thing Stargazer. Engaging your glutes to drive your hips forward. Exhale, lower. 2 more times of each. Inhale, side stretch to the left. Exhale, center, right hand plants. Inhale, stargazer. Exhale, lower hips back down. Breathe in, side stretch. Over the left leg, breathe out, stack your shoulders over hips, plant your hand. Inhale, sweep left arm up and back. Exhale, lower your hips down. Cross your left shin in front of your right, find an easy seat. And from here, we're gonna take a little fold, walking your hands forward. Leave plenty of space for your belly, your baby, but feel that nice stretch in the hips. Good, and then we're gonna walk our fingertips back behind us. Open up your shoulders, puff your chest up to the sky. All right, wiggle it out. Find your way back into your tabletop. And we're gonna do those modified plank to child's pose rock backs. If you wanna come up onto your palms, that's fine. If you wanna drop down onto your elbows, that's fine. And for these, let's bring our knees a little bit closer and our feet out wide, moving into internal rotation of the hips. So as you inhale, send your hips back, breathe down, and relax your pelvic floor. Exhale, shift forward, shoulders over wrists, hips surpass the knees. Find that core engagement in your modified plank. Inhale, rock back. Exhale, shift forward. Good, 3 more times with your breath. Last inhale, child's pose. Last exhale, plank pose. Good, move back to tabletop and 5 breaths to explore, barrel roll, cat-cow, wiggle side to side, whatever you need to reset here. As you're ready, come back to neutral. This time we're gonna plant our left knee in the very center of the mat. Turn your body to the right as you sit down onto your hips, and then stretch your right leg out long, facing the long edge of the mat. Start with taking those little rocks side to side through your pelvis. And then eventually, on your next in-breath, side stretch over to the right. Over the right leg, your left arm sweeps up and over, breathe in. Exhale through center, plant your left hand behind you on a block or on the mat. Press down into your right heel and your left shin. Drive your hips forward, stargazer. Right arm reaches to the front of the mat. Exhale, lower your hips. 2 more times, inhale, side stretch to the right. Exhale through center. Inhale, lift your hips. Feel that nice stretch on the front of the body. Exhale, lower. Inhale, side stretch. Exhale, stack shoulders over hips. Breathe into stargazer. Breathe out, lower back down. Cross your right shin in front of your left, find an easy seat. And then just a little gentle walk forward of your hands until you feel a nice stretch in those hips. Good, walk your fingertips back behind you. Roll your shoulders back, open up your chest. Couple breaths here. And then eventually make your way back to tabletop. I'm gonna have 2 blocks handy for underneath my wrists, but do whatever is comfortable for you. Tuck your toes, glide your hips back, downward facing dog. Child's pose is a great option if down dog is not working for you right now. Just take a few breaths to land here. Bend your knees as much as you need to keep a nice engaged and straight spine.
And we're gonna take some modified sun salutations. So on an inhale, walk your feet or step, whatever you wanna do, to the very front of the mat. Find a halfway lift through your spine. And exhale, fold, ragdoll. Let your head hang. Inhale, come to stand, arms sweep high. And exhale, fold back down. Breathe in, halfway lift, pull your chest forward. Breathe out. If you're taking the pregnancy modification, lower down onto your knees. Inhale to a little cow. Exhale to a cat. Tuck your toes. Glide your hips back, down dog. Inhale, top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, let it go. Push down through your feet. Inhale to rise, arms sweep high. And exhale, release back down. You can take whatever sun cells you want. This is just what we'll do. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, plant your knees, find tabletop. Breathe into cow. Breathe out to cat, and eventually down dog. 3 more rounds. Inhale, top of the mat, halfway lift. Lengthen through your spine. Exhale, drop your head, release. Push through your feet, inhale, rise and stand. Exhale, let it go. Breathe in, Ardha Uttanasana. Breathe out, hands plant, knees plant. Move through your vinyasa of your choice. We'll meet in down dog. And take 2 more rounds on your own. Linking breath with movement, closing your eyes if you want. Feeling that energy flow through you, and letting it feel really good and connected. And as you're finishing up, we will meet in a downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Find a little settling, a little grounding. And as you're ready, lower your knees down into tabletop pose. I'm gonna remove my blocks, but do what feels right for you. And then extend your right leg long behind you. If you're able to keep that core nice and steady, your spine stable, feel free to lift your left hand as well into a bird dog shape. So pretend you had a glass of water on your back and you're not letting it spill, you're not arching, swaying in any way. Nice and strong here. Exhale, pull left knee towards, or left elbow towards right knee in the center. Inhale to extend into bird dog. Exhale, pull it back in. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, pull it in, drop your left elbow, and take some big circles out with your right hip and your right knee. So using whatever you need for balance, propping on your right hand, your left elbow. Switch the direction of your circles. It's kind of like this fire hydrant shape. Good, lift back up onto your left palm. Swivel your left toes out and extend your right leg long. Push down through your left hand. Inhale, sweep right hand high. So again, in the modified side plank here, we're gonna lift this up into a gate pose. So engage your right obliques, lift your body up, stretch your right arm down your right leg and your left arm up and overhead. Good, and then fold your body to the right, forward, down, and around. right fingertips forward. And we're gonna reverse the order of that. So now right hand goes down, forward to the back of the mat, up onto your leg, left arm stretches back. Just taking these big sweeping motions between gate pose, forward fold, and modified side plank. So we'll do 2 full cycles and then a little half cycle to meet back in modified side plank. This time, option to engage your right glutes, lift your right heel from the mat. If you want it, curl your right heel in towards your bottom, reach back with your right hand, take a little tiger pose variation. Open up the front of your chest. Core and glutes are engaged here. 2 more cycles of breath. Nice quad stretch as well. Good, gently release the clasp of your right foot, stretch long again. Good. Now, right hand plants at the top of the mat. Bring your right foot outside the right hand and your left foot outside your left hand. Briefly meet in a Mallasana yogi squat. Good, and then turn your toes forward. Keep your knees out as wide as you need. Come up into a chair pose, Utkatasana. Strong, steady breath here. 3 rounds. Sink your hips back as far as you can. Good, and then hands to hips. You can ease up out of the chair a little bit and then just take a little bit of like hula hip side to side. You can do this arching, rocking, or you can do full circles. Good, stand up tall. Take a curtsy side stretch. Right foot stays where it is. Sweep your left leg back behind you. Reach up and over with your arms to the right side. Big stretch for the right side of the body. Good, come back through center. Switch it out. Left foot plants. Right leg sweeps back behind you and out to the side. And then stretch over to the left side. Little bend in your left knee. Good, come back through center. Sink down into your chair pose. 3 more breaths here. Hands can be overhead or heart center, hugging your baby. Good, now toes out, heels in, lower into your Mallasana squat, and then step back to your tabletop. Reset here, take as long as you need, and we'll move into our bird dog on the other side. So stretch your left leg long behind you. If you feel nice and stable here, reach right fingertips forward. Find some length on an in-breath. Exhale, right elbow towards left knee in the center. Inhale to re-extend. Exhale, pull it into center. 1 more time. On this exhale, drop your right elbow down for balance. Take some big circles with your left hip and your left knee in one direction, and then circle it the other way. Good, prop back onto your right hand. Swivel your right toes out, extend your left leg long, press your right hand, and then reach left fingertips up to the sky. Modified side plank. Now engage your left obliques. We're gonna pull up to a gate pose, so shoulders stack over pelvis. Then left arm down left leg, right arm up and over. Now fold your body all the way to the back of the mat, through center, into modified side plank, left fingertips forward. Now we'll reverse, so left fingertips down in front of you, to the back of the mat, onto the leg, right arm reaches back. Good, 1 more cycle of this. Just big, gentle, sweeping motions. As you're ready on this last one, meet me in your side plank. Option here, engage your left glutes, lift your left leg up, And then curl left heel into glute. Option to hold onto the top of your left foot with your left hand. 3 breaths. Find a little tucking of your pelvis. This will increase the stretch on your quad. And take any excessive arch out of the low back. One more inhale. And exhale, gently release. Left hand plants. Left foot steps to the outside of left hand. Right foot steps up. Find your squat. One breath in. And then turn your toes forward. Sink your hips back. 3 breaths in your chair pose. Challenge yourself to stay focused here. Stay steady. Good. Release out of the squat a little bit. Hands to hips. Find a little shift in a sway, side to side. Or little circles. Stand up tall. Curtsy lunge over to the left. Left foot is grounded. Right leg sweeps back behind you. Reach up and over. Come back through center, switch it out. Right foot plants, left arm and left leg up and over. Good, come back through center. Sink into your chair pose. 3 breaths, Utkatasana. Good, now we lower into our squat. Turn your toes out. Drop your hips low. You can always sit up onto a prop. Breathe in here. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back. We'll take a downward facing dog. Good, from here, inhale, sweep your right leg high. Exhale, plant your left or right foot in between your hands. If you have to take multiple steps, no worries. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Drive down through your right heel. Square left hip forward. Breathe in here. Good. Exhale, take an arrowhead lunge. So we're gonna lean our torso forward, sweep arms back behind you. Strong and steady through your legs. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, arrowhead. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, arrowhead. Good, plant your left hand down onto a block or onto the mat. And then we're gonna lower your left knee down. Turn your pelvis and all your toes to the right. Sink your right hip down. This is kind of a horizon lunge variation or revolved Skandasana. From here, we're pressing into the outer edges of both feet. Inhale, option to lift your left hip up from the mat. Into this funky side plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Good. Now we're in this setup so we can find Gomukhasana. Stack your right knee on top of your left. If you're a little more open in the hips, you could parallel your shins to the long edge of the mat and flex your feet. If that feels like a lot, you always have the option to curl your heels in towards your body and point your toes. Sit up tall. Option to place a cushion underneath your hips. Slow your breath. Relax your shoulders down. Take a little baby twist to the right. As you come through center, let's add the arms. So we're gonna bring right arm underneath left in an eagle shape. You can find the double clasp holding onto your palms. You could always just cross your hands to opposite shoulders. Now breathe into the back of the heart, the back of the lungs and rib cage. Expand through the back body here. Gently release your hands. Turn your body to face the front of the mat again. Plant through both feet. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Good. As you get there, ground down through your right foot. Inhale, lift left leg high. Exhale, step your left foot through. Use blocks if you need, take multiple steps if you need. Now, press down through your left heel, square your right hip forward, lift up into a high crescent lunge. And exhale, torso sweeps forward, arms sweep back, arrowhead. Inhale, high crescent. Exhale, arrowhead. One more, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lean out, strong through your left hip. Plant your right hand down, turn your toes to the left as you lower your right knee, and then your right hip to the mat. Option here to press into the outside of your feet. Use that core engagement, lift your right hip from the mat. Stretch your left fingertips forward. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lift up. So we're stretching different side bodies as we lift up versus when we lower down. Last one here. Good. We're in this setup. Go ahead and find your Gomukhasana. I'm going to turn to face you. This time, left knee is stacked on top of right. Please add whatever blankets you need underneath your knees or your feet or your hips. First, just settle into the shape, feeling sit bones grounding down. Big outer hip stretch, soften there. And then take a little tiny twist over to the right. Or to the left, sorry. Come back through center. If you want the eagle arms, wrap your left arm underneath your right. And then lift your elbows forward and up. Feel your shoulder blades separate and make space for the breath to go to the back of the heart. And gently let it go. Untwist, unwind till you make your way to the front of the mat with your hands and the back of the mat with your feet, downward facing dog. 3 more breaths here. Good. Lower down gently. Find that bolster we started with. And we're going to take it to a supported child's pose. So I like to lay my torso down onto the bolster, bring my knees out wide, but do whatever works for you. And really let your low back soften, let it go. It doesn't need to hold any tension here. If you're pregnant, you can think about the pelvic floor lengthening on your inhales. And just softly letting that breath go. No contraction here. If you're laying onto one ear, we can even them out and lay on the other ear. option to stay here, or we can end class how we began it, kneeling and seated on our bolsters, having that feedback underneath our pelvis. Close your eyes, roll your shoulders back, and just take some gentle breaths here. If this isn't comfortable for you, you could also do a supported malasana, bringing your feet in front of you, sitting onto your bolster, and pressing your palms into each other and your knees into your elbows. Final 10 breaths are yours. You have the option to move into a meditation seat or finish out with any additional stretches or movements that feel good for you. But that is the end of our class together. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time.